Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I will be giving you some channel recommendations for anybody interested in luxury goods or luxury living style, all sorts of advice on luxurious goods. The first channel I recommend is Archie Luxury. Hilarious guy, gives advice on dating and which watch you should buy as a young man, your first Rolex, all that good stuff. Funny guy, good advice, great videos. I enjoy it, so I highly recommend Archie Luxury. The next channel I recommend is BMW A5H, I believe. Now, this guy does a lot of fashion and style, luxury advice and shopping that he shows off, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, all that good stuff. And, he also showcases his cars, his Rolexes, and gives a variety of advice on that, which is awesome. So check out that channel as well. Now, the next channel I recommend is the Urban Gentry channel. Now, this gentleman does variety of style as well, and sort of non-biased watch reviews slash just advice on all watch brands in general, not based entirely on luxury, but he goes over Seiko and Omega, Rolexes. He does the lower tier brands, he does the luxury brands. It's a very generalized look at luxurious items and basic watch items and advice on style and dress and watches, etc. So those are the channels I recommend. Check them out if you want. Now, the main purpose of this video is investments. Now, here I have 2.5K. Here's 1K, it's 2K, that's 500. 2.5K and a silver panda. Now, I've been looking over some vintage used Rolexes, pre-owned of course, because it saves a lot of money. Here is the Rolex date just 18 karat white gold, 2.5K about, $2,587. Very nice watch. I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera too well, but authentic Rolex. I believe the band is a replacement though, so that kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, I was taking a look at watches as an investment, and I was talking to this guy who has a $20,000 pre-owned Rolex Submariner, the gold one, the solid gold one. It's crazy, but brand new that costs around 30,000, maybe 40,000, give or take, depending on what style you get and which one you choose. But he pretty much said that wearing a Rolex is like wearing your bank account on your wrists, so to speak. Well, your partial bank account. It's like, for example, if you get a $20,000 Rolex, it's like having $20,000 on your wrists at all times. And the thing about watches and luxury goods such as Rolex and such is that once you make the initial investment, like, you don't really lose value unless you obviously damage the watch, or there's a chance of losing it, etc., etc. But if you keep it in good condition, these watches could run. There's watches that have lasted 50 years, 70 years, etc. Once you make that initial investment of 2.5K, for example, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it all back. If not, you might get actually a little bit more back on your investment. So I would say it's a pretty solid investment opportunity, pretty solid market to put your money in, but you have to really take care of it, and you have to, obviously watch out so you don't lose it, you don't misplace it, you don't get robbed, etc. So it's kind of risky, but the money will be there on the return. Now, here I have a vintage Omega Seamaster 1020. This one only costs $480, and it's pretty nice. I have yet to verify whether it's authentic or not, but I was just looking at the various luxury brands, but this is definitely a vintage watch. Now, when it comes to vintage goods, that are, significantly old, like this Omega, let's say you put in $480, it's kind of tricky. You might get that back. You might get something lower back, let's say 300, give or take. So it's tricky. It's a very tricky market, but I would say watches are a pretty safe investment. They're not like a fluid market like silver. They're not a volatile market by any means, so to speak. Because you could buy a Rolex today, and 20 years from now, you can guarantee that it's still going to be around the same amount, or if not more. Or you might lose $100, $200, but it's no big deal. Now, precious metals, on the other hand, investment in precious metals is a volatile market. Let's say I put 2.5K into precious metals, and today silver's at $16.18, platinum's at $975. See, I got into precious metals when the market was pretty good still. Like platinum was around, I think, 1,500 or something, 1,600, 700, something around there. Gold was around 1,500, I believe, or 400. So as you can see, in a couple of years, it changed significantly. So there is definitely a chance of loss in this market, but it's a risk. You see, with precious metals, you have a chance of actually gaining a significant amount of money if you make the proper investments at the proper time. Whereas watches, not necessarily. You'll pretty much get what you put in back. If you drop 2.5K on a Rolex, you're going to get that 2.5K back. Like I said, maybe $50, $100 lower or higher, give or take. But it's not like you put 2.5K into a Rolex and then, 2 or 3 years from now it'll be, you'll make $2,000 off of that. You'll make, a profit. I don't necessarily believe that's the case. But like I said, it's a solid investment, and when it comes to watches such as Rolex and stuff, I believe that it's a lot easier to sell off. Like, let's say you get into some money troubles, you could definitely sell that watch off for what you put in very easily on eBay. If not eBay, you could go to your local watch dealer and just sell it off there. When it comes to precious metals, you have to find a coin dealer or you have to hustle the market online. And, you could run into trouble sometimes with the precious metals because people will try to verify whether it's real gold or real silver or what have you. People are very cautious about such things, because there's a lot of fake silver coming in from China, a lot of fake gold, all that stuff. So people really watch out for that stuff. But I mean, if you get it from a reputable site, you shouldn't have any problems. But what I'm saying is that it gets a little bit trickier to sell off, like, let's say, a massive stash. Like, you put $2,500 in silver. That's a hefty stash of silver right there. And if you need the money ASAP, it's going to take a while to sell, Even if you bring it all into the coin dealer, he's gonna put it on hold for a little bit. He's gonna check every piece. He might write you a check. That takes some time, but like I said, a watch is a watch. It's a quick way to get your money back. Quick way to get the money you put in back. So anyway, little rant right here. Little just rambling about the topic of cash, luxury, stuff like that. And what would be the proper decision? Putting 2.5K into precious metals or putting 2.5K into Rolex? The decision is entirely up to the person who has the money. Nobody could predict whether the market's going to go up and down. But like I said, Rolexes are a solid investment. If you invest 2.5K, you could guarantee pretty much that 10 years from now, you could get that money back. Precious metals, not so much. You might get double the money you put in back, or you might get less. You never know. And you might take a big hit, actually. Let's say I put 2.5K right now and silver drops to like $8 an ounce. That's a significant loss right there. And it's going to take some time for it to build up again. So anyway, enough rambling. Check out those channels I recommended: Archie Luxury, BMW A5H, and Urban Gentry. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy those channels, by the way. I have a lot of fun watching those videos, and I think you will too. Peace out.